In fact, Alder was your pole sitter for the last 2 rounds. I'm sorry, actually, the last 3 rounds at IRL. He won pole at round 8 in Britain at Silverstone. He won the pole at round 9 in Bahrain. And in round 10 at Singapore, he also won the pole. He won the race that day as well. It was a very wet Singapore race. You can check out that video on KLC 73's YouTube page. That would be Kalawaffle on YouTube. So he's proven to be very quick in the few rounds that he's done with the IRL. Now, what I'm surprised to see today, unless... Yeah, I'm actually not mistaken. I'm actually surprised to see that Felix Naguar is not a part of the IRL lineup today. Felix Naguar is actually the championship points leader in IRL, but he is not here today, unfortunately. So Matthew Alder will be sitting on pole. Right behind him will be the very fast Bart Catalda. Catalda is the championship points leader in SRL. And again, he's picked up 8 poles this year, 7 wins. SRL is much further into their season than IRL is. And this will be the formation lap. So this is definitely going to be interesting. And again, like I said, this is kind of a big deal for me. I have a lot of fun with. I commentate for both leagues. And just by chance for both of them, it happened that way. Interesting story on how I got into this. I'm just scrolling through Google Plus one day and see a posting that a gentleman was looking for a commentator for F1 2017. Said I would do it, and not thinking that Sandro was on the other side of the world, so I thought it would be something I'd be doing on a Friday or Saturday night. Turns out I do it on a Saturday or Sunday morning for SRL. And I've been doing it for Sandro, and Cameron Weston Edwards, who races in SRL, asked if I would commentate for his league as well. Graciously said yes, and I've been doing both leagues since January. I started SRL in November, and IRL season started in January. I've been doing both since then. I now race in the IRL Gran Turismo Sport League in the GT3 category. I rock a Continental tire livery for my Porsche 911 RSR. I finished 5th yesterday. So that's a little bit of a background on how and why I got into doing this. Apparently the guys like it. I'm pretty good at it, so they say. So it'll be fun commentating for everybody collectively, both leagues. It should definitely be interesting to see how this pans out. Very, very fast formation lap, I will say. And looks like we have a comment. Airfin Daniel says he might want to try out the IRL GT Sport League. I will say this, if it's too late to get into the IRL GT Sport League, Daniel, SRL will be starting a GT Sport League as well, the end of May, beginning of June. Sam Brandt, who is racing the Haas F1, has been diligently working behind the scenes to put that together for us. And that will launch shortly towards the end of or right after the SRL F1 League. So the drivers have lined up. Lights out, boys. Time to run what you brung. A little bit of a delay there. They finally get going. You take a look here, it looks like KLC has jumped way out in front. Some argy-bargy going on in the back. And KLC is through Air Rouge. And he is off and running. See how long he can retain the lead. Looks like Matthew Alder is already catching up to the back. And look at Alder come out of Air Rouge with a full head of steam down the backstretch. You've got Catalda all over the back of Alder. 3 wide there for 4th, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now Alder manages to take the lead from Collingwood. You see Lewis Marshall here in the Mercedes. He's right behind Bart Catalda. Luke Smith has worked his way up to 5th. Francis McGinn has dropped all the way back to 9th, and he is battling now with Reese Bibby. Oh, and he runs very wide there through that corner. Yeah, I know I don't pronounce French words very well. You know what the sad part is my last name is French. I have a very strong French heritage and I can't speak the language for crap. That is Flavsky Plays. Probably said his name wrong too. Back to the action. Take a look at Bart Catalda as he closes in on the back of Collingwood. That's KLC 73. And in the midst of this, Collingwood, if he wanted to play his hand right, he could probably hold up Catalda and give Alder a little bit of a leeway there, let him pull away from the rest of this pack. Got a caution in Sector 3. Looks like possibly Dion Stahl had an issue. Dion looks like he's going around coming out of the last chicane. He takes out the DRS sign. The hell with that sign, he says. Take a look at Cameron Weston Edwards now as they go through Air Rouge one more time. He loses another spot. No, and here comes the other Sahara Force India on the other side of him now. So the Crocodile becomes part of a Sahara Force India sandwich, and it looks like he's going to lose 2 spots, both to the Sahara Force Indias. That is Julian De Ric and Alexito Benarichetti. So they are off and running. Catalda's still trying to reel in Collingwood a little bit. He's 4/10. He's within DRS range. The DRS should come out at the end of this lap. They both run wide through turn 6 there. He says it's Eau Rouge. That's silly. Oh no, Lewis Marshall has left the session. Which, as I told you guys in qualifying, Lewis Marshall has had some internet issues throughout the course of the year, and this is not a big surprise to me. His car's gone AI. It's Ghost. He's running 18th. And this is not the first time that this happened. He just lost another position to Dion Stahl, so we'll see if Lewis Marshall... But it looks like Julian De Ric has got an issue, and he is off into the signs. This is towards the end of the lap. This is running up through the last chicane, I believe, out onto the front stretch here. So it looks like he's had an issue. Got Hallworth heading into the pits, Luke Smith heading into the pits. I'm going to assume for what was some wing damage. Yep, Luke Smith getting a new wing. Hallworth getting a tire change. Brandon Glover is in. He's also got wing damage. Julian De Ric, he's also got wing damage. And we're going to check back up front here. Top 3, Karakayam is all over the back of Collingwood. And I got a feeling, and Collingwood loses the back end coming out of that corner there. And I got a feeling now if the Delta could get by him, he could actually probably close that gap to Matthew Alder, who's now pulled out to a 2.6 second advantage. We'll take a look at Cameron Weston Edwards real quick as he's trying to regain his positions back from Benarichetti. Got a lot of close battles on track right now. Saba, we'll take a look at him. He's all over the back of Lewis Bish for 5th, and he's going to make a move to the outside. Bish has got the more preferred line. Oh, big time move on the outside going in that corner, and Saba makes it stick. Nice move. It looks like Colin Higgins has managed to get around Sandro Dulius. Dulius is going to try and make a move back on him. Doesn't look like, they both run a little wide there. Get a good look at that T-Wing on the back of these 17 cars. Obviously the T-Wing is gone for 21 in 2018. And it looks like Collingwood has headed into the pits. That's going to hand over... And it's going to hand over second place to Bart Catalda. And now there's a 3-second time penalty for Sandro Dulius. So now we're going to take a hard look here the next few laps to see if Catelda can close the gap to Matthew Alder. You see Matthew Alder there running through Eau Rouge, or however you say it, according to Mr. Flamsky Plays. What's he got down here? Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge. Francis McGinn has now moved up to third, so you know you've got a McLaren Honda second and third. Take a look at Catelda. He's going to try and close the gap. Reese Bibby is under attack from who's this? Kraken, I guess. Take a look at Reese Bibby. He is trying to get around the Toro Rosso of Kraken. There's the other factory Renault. It's Cameron Weston Edwards. Oh my, and Saba and Lewis Bish going back and forth. Looks like Saba picks up another spot. Another big move for him. Take a look at Reese Bibby. And the Kraken. I'll save you all the Roman mythology Zeus troops. Releasing the Kraken. Looks like he's going to try and put a move, though. Oh, all over the back. He's going to dive to the inside. Matthew Alder just ran the fastest lap. Oh, and Bish heads into the pit, so he's going to give up the position. All that fight for nothing. Easy move for Kraken to make. Sandro Dulius now, he's got the DRS slot open. They head down into turn 1. He is all over the back of Rene van der Stap. This is your closest battle on track as of this second. Fastest lap now, it says Julian De Larique at a 1:47. I thought Alder ran a faster lap. That is... let's find that out. It doesn't tell me. There we go, fastest laps. Says here, yeah, Julian De Larique, 147. So Matthew Alder ran a 1:48.2. Collingwood looks like he's starting to join this fight now. He's creeped into the picture behind Sandro Dulius and Rene van der Stap. And they've got a three-way battle for what is ultimately going to be the 8th position. These three are actually starting to close into the 7th place position of Cameron Weston Edwards. There he goes, just out of shot. So you're about to have a 4-car battle, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Looks like Saba has headed into the pits. Oh, Dulius tries to make a move. So he loses a position. You got one guy that heads into the pits, shuffles the board around a little bit. Nice move by Collingwood. He now picks up another position. A great move by Collingwood at the end of that straightaway. Into the final hairpin there. So now you've got 6th, 7th, 8th. Oh no, and they're banging wheels and Van der Stap is off into the grass. He's lucky he doesn't have more damage than he probably already does. It looks like he had a wing outlet come off. He's got some wing damage, I'm sure. So now we're going to reset this a little bit because here comes Collingwood on the back of Cameron Weston Edwards. Looks like he's still struggling for grip. He's going to let his teammate go by because it's an IRL driver for IRL. And it looks like he's going to try and hold up Sandro Dulius, which would be the smart thing to do. We're not looking for maximum points as far as the driver goes. We're looking for maximum points as far as the league goes. So Cameron Weston Edwards playing the strategy game. He knows Collingwood is faster, lets him go by. He's going to hold up Julius now. And Rene Vanderstappen has lost another position. This one's going to be to Matthew Alder. Oh, he tries to push him wide. They go wheel to wheel. We've got a caution in Sector 2. It looks like that might be... Oh, that is Lewis Bish, and it looks like he might have some wing damage. Oh, and you hear the car running, and he's AI. Looks like he's got nothing. He may have beached it on the curb. Oh, you see the wheels spinning. He is stuck. That could bring out a safety car. Oh, he gets it up. He gets it up in the grass, backs it down. Oh, he doesn't have enough momentum to get it going. Oh, this is heartbreaking for Lewis Bish. Unbelievable. Bish is going to be done for the day if he can't get it going on. You see there's another car goes by. Unbelievable. The wheels are spinning. He's got nowhere to go, and it says here he has left the session. Lewis Bish has retired. Done for the day. We'll take a look back at Sandro Julius now. He is still all over the back of Cameron Weston Edwards. And what an intelligent move by Edwards. He let Collingwood go by, take the 5th position. He is now holding up Sandro. And there's a caution in Sector 2. We're going to take a look back there. We've got a 3-way battle here. This is James Hallworth, Colin Higgins. Oh, and they bang wheels and they both push wide. They're going to cut the chicane. It doesn't even look like either one of them tried to brake. Oh, no, and Hallworth gets pushed into the gravel. Unbelievable. I'm sure there are going to be some words with Higgins after the race. Saba is going to put the move on Higgins and push him by, and that is that's very aggressive driving on Colin Higgins' part. And you see Lewis Bish's car still. Oh no, and around goes one of the Red Bulls. That's Matthew Alder. That was your pole sitter, and he's going to lose all kinds of positions. So that's going to drop him back to 13th. Unfortunate turn of events. Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments on the live chat. We've got cautions in Sector 2. Uh-oh, it looks like Luke Smith might have a problem. He's off into the grass. So he's got no front wing. What happened there? He's going to be off into the pits. Colin Higgins loses it. We got a 3-way battle here. Reese Bibby, Colin Higgins, James Hallworth. So a lot of aggressive driving here in the back. And when Matthew Alder pitted, he gave up the first position to Barkatell. You see bits and pieces flying off these cars. So Luke Smith is into the pits. They go through Eau Rouge, down the Kemmel Straight. I do know that much. I'm being told it's Kemmel Straight, then Les Combs is the next chicane. Not sure what the hairpin is. And then Pouhon. Not sure what Pouhon is. Blanchiment is the long left-handing. Oh, the bus stop. The last one's the bus stop. Oh, that makes sense. Bus stop chicane. Looks like Hallworth had some issues. He's off. He has lost his front wing. Shouldn't have been reading comments. I'm giving up on the action. My apologies to the spectators. So now Hallworth is going to have to fight his way all the way back around the track. Take a look at Collingwood as he's pulled away from Venerichetti. So a lot of action taking place in these last few laps. And look at him closing the gap. Look at him. Oh, and here he goes, dive bombing in the bus stop chicane. Onto the back of the... Uh-oh, it looks like somebody retired there. That is one of the Mercedes. That has gone ghost. Dion Stahl. He is... Oh, Dion Stahl has massively crashed. Looks like at the top of Eau Rouge, heading onto the Kemmel Straight. So he is done for the day. That is your first official DNF. Along with, looks like, Lewis Bish's car is still ghost, trying to get back on track. That's not going to happen. Lewis Marshall is ghost as well. So your 18th, 19th, and 20th are all done for the day. So Barkatell is headed into the pits. He's giving up the lead. We're going to do a little bit of a grid reset here. Give you a running order. This is Francis McGinn. He is 12 seconds ahead of This was Aaron Collingwood. He is running second. He's got Catalda right behind him, and he is fighting with Kraken. So this is going to be an IRL, SRL. Oh, and Karakam. Catalda puts the move on him. He's going to pick up that spot as they go around Lewis Bish's car. So that was third and fourth. Ben Ricchetti is fifth. He's actually closed in onto the back of this battle a little bit. You see he is now closing in on Kraken. Cameron Weston Edwards and Sandro Julius. These two, I will say, in the SRL League, can't seem to stay away from each other. These two are constantly battling back and forth. Julius is all over the back of the gearbox of the Renault. Now Cameron is very good at making his car very wide, and it looks like we've got another retirement in Prime Stingray. That is Luke Smith, and he is off. Looks like he's got a broken right rear suspension. Looks like he is done for the day. And now Francis McGinn has headed into the pits, and that's going to hand the lead over to Collingwood, with Bart Catalda closing in on him. You take a look back here at Kraken and Ben Ricchetti. They're still battling for the last spot on the podium. McGinn comes out in fifth, and now you've got a three-way battle here. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is Sandro Julius. He's managed to get his way around Cameron Weston Edwards. You've got Saba, who's coming in from there. Oh, and it looks like Edwards isn't done with Julius, so Julius passed him, it looks like, going into that first hairpin before you make the turn into Air Rouge. Oh, and a nice move at the end of the straight there. Oh, and he tries to cut away inside. And he's going to make the move. And now Saba is there. Saba is now a part of this battle. You can throw a blanket over 6th, 7th, and 8th here. Luke Smith has retired. Looks like Edwards is going to move aside. He thought about letting Saba through. It looks like Lewis Bish's car has finally, the wheels have stopped spinning, so perhaps it's finally run out of gas. So Edwards lets Saba through, again playing the strategy game, playing the points game. Let his IRL teammates get through. Saba is now going to start working on the back of Julius. It looks like Edwards is going to fall off the pace a little bit. May have worked his tires a little too hard. We're going to jump to the front now because Bart Catalda is within a second of Collingwood. He just ran the fastest lap. Look at him kick the back end out coming out of that corner. The back end slides out. He's really trying to put the power down, get a good run coming down Air Rouge to the Kemmel Straight. And he's definitely going to be in DRS range. He's going to have a huge advantage being this close. Oh, and you see Collingwood trying to take the more defensive line. He's going to try and push him wide. Oh, and look at this. Oh, Catalda's got to cut the chicane. He might have to give that position back. Oh no, and Collingwood drops the left side wheels. He lets him go by. He gives the position back. He's got a caution in sector 2. There's Kraken that lost the position there. And look at this. Oh, three-way battle as they head into that corner. They're banging wheels. Again, this is 6th, 7th, and 8th. Actually, this is, 6th, 7th, 8th. It is now Saba. Saba's gone. This is going to be 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. That's Matthew Alder, who just got past Sandro Julius. You see Edwards is going to move aside and let Reese Bibby go by. So Edwards, again, playing the points game. Sandro is just stuck back here with nothing but IRL drivers. And Cameron Weston Edwards playing the strategy game. To take a look back up front now, Catalda is still working on the back of Collingwood to take the lead of this race. Francis McGinn is running 3rd. Ben Ricchetti 4th. Kraken 5th. Saba 6th. Alder 7th, Sandro Julius 8th, Reese Bibby 9th, and Cameron Weston Edwards 10th. That's your top 10 points paid positions. They come out of the bus stop and down to the first corner. Oh, and you see Catalda gets a good run, takes a little bit of a different line coming out of there, puts the power down early. Let's see what kind of run he gets down here now. I see Collingwood there, takes the more defensive line. He's going to try and make Patel to go the long way around again. Last time it didn't work out for him. He had to blow the chicane and cut through. Gained the position back on last lap. Couldn't make it stick this time. Got Sandre Sourhog chiming in on the live chat. Good to see him. Too bad he's not racing today. But always good to have another viewer. We still got this caution in Sector 2 where Lewis Bish's car has stalled. So that is actually a fairly decent passing zone that could come into play a little bit later since you can't pass under the local yellow there. And it's very easy for somebody to blow that corner where Lewis Bish's car is stalled out. We'll see if that comes into play as we're working lap 12 of 22. We're halfway, just a little over halfway through this race now. It's very exciting to watch. Continue to watch this battle for the lead here. Delta's going to try and get a good run as they head down towards this long set of corners to the bus stop chicane. Quick right, left, out on the front stretch. DRS slot open. Not a very long straightaway for DRS. Doesn't really make that big of a factor here. Oh, and he kicks the back end out. He tries to get on the inside line. And you can't go too wide. So Air Rouge, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to work out. Oh, and Catalda's off. I told you it wasn't going to work. I'm surprised he didn't break the right front suspension on that. That was a big hit to the wall. You just can't go side by side through Eau Rouge onto the Keppel Straight. It does not work. It never has. And I'm sure Catalda now has some wing damage. That is going to give Collingwood a little bit of a breather now as he can pull out 3 seconds almost. Francis McGinn now coming into play. Going to take a look back here. Oh, we've got another scrap going on here. This is 4th, 5th, 6th. And it looks like Kraken is going to let Saba and Matthew Alder go by. Looks like he had it off there. You take a look back here. Reese Bibby, he's in the Renault. He's going to be working on the back of Sandro Dulius in the Scuderia Ferrari. And Colin Higgins has left the session. Higgins, he was running 13th. And looks like maybe he had an internet connection. No damage to the car. He's rocking the Haas F1. The other Haas there is Samuel Brandt. He'll move up into the 13th position. So let's do a little bit of a grid reset after all that fun action there for the past few laps. This is Aaron Collingwood. He's now your leader, and he is 2.6 seconds ahead of Mark Catalda, who tried very hard to make a move going through Air Rouge as they went through side by side. And that has let Francis McGinn in the other McLaren Honda close the gap up to him. So that's your top 3. Saba, who's put on a pretty good show today. He is running 4th. He's followed by Matthew Alder. Kraken has now headed into the pits after his off, so that's going to give up the position to Sandro Julius. He kicks the back end out of the car. Looks like Colin Higgins has rejoined, so it looks like he's having some internet issues. So Kraken and Reese Bibby have both gone into the pits. Cameron Weston Edwards is battling with Alex Benarachetti. Benarachetti is a former SRL champion. I believe that was season 1 or season 2 that he had won the overall championship. So Edwards has been fighting in the back half of the top 10 list. We've got cautions in sector 2 and 3 now. Continue to watch this battle. Colin Higgins, he's joined up again. His car is no longer AI. He's dropped to 17th on the grid. Looks like he's got one of the Sahara Force Indias behind him. Higgins is a lap car. Oh no, and Sandro Dulius. Oh my goodness! The car is destroyed! Up on the barriers, the right rear. I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever move he tried to make, he is done for the day in a massive crash. Unbelievable turn of events. And here comes the cars as they ride through. Thank goodness he's AI at this point. Unbelievable. Sorry I didn't catch that as it was happening. Bart Catalda has now dropped to third as he lets Francis McGinn go by. What an unbelievable crash. So it looks like Catalda, he had closed the gap down to Collingwood. He heads out onto the Kemmel Straits. Francis McGinn followed by Catalda. Catalda had the gap closed down after he had his off at the top of Eau Rouge. Had the gap closed down to 2.6 seconds. Looks like he's lost a lot of pace now. He lets Francis McGinn go by. Saba is quietly closing in on them. He was 12 seconds behind second and third. He's now managed to get that down to 10.8. He's followed by Matthew Alder running fifth. Ben Ricchetti, he's now managed to get by. Kraken pitted a couple laps ago. He's now running seventh. Reese Bibby, the factory Renault. We've got Rene van der Stoep, who we haven't talked a lot about today. He's finally creeped his way back into the top 10 in points. Brandon the Man Glover, we've also not talked a lot about him. He's currently, I believe, fourth in the points championship in IRL. He looks like he's having a rough outing today. He's going to bring in the final points paying position. Cameron Weston Edwards has played the strategy game today, letting his IRL drivers go by. And it looks like SRL Sam Brandt's going to be closing in on him. Hallworth in the Scuderia Toro Rosso running 13th. Julian Deric looks like he is off the pace. Sandro Julius is done for the day. Higgins had some internet issues, disconnected, reconnected. He's managed to work his way up to 16th. And then you have the back markers. This is Lewis Marshall. He lost internet connection. Luke Smith had it off. Dion Stahl had it off. And Lewis Bish, his wheels are still moving. He's disconnected since then, but the car is beached on the curb as it still struggles to try and get going. So we're going to take a look here. Looks like your closest battle on track right now is going to be between Catalda and Francis McGinn, or Rene van der Stoep and Reese Bibby, and we're probably going to monitor this one here for a few minutes, since this is an IRL versus SRL. Reese Bibby is an IRL driver, van der Stoep SRL. Got some talk going on in the chat. Luke Smith expressing his displeasure. Looks like he lost his front wing on both of his stints. It looks like he had some grip problems today. Unfortunately, yes, I did miss Higgins getting past Hallworth earlier in the race. Looks like van der Stoep is way off the pace now. Again, as I was checking notes, something happened and I didn't catch it. Don't text and drive, don't read and drive. So grid reset. Matthew Alder is running fifth. This is your closest battle on track right now. And he is within half a second of Saba. Saba, who's put on quite a show today. Sandro Julius is now chimed in onto the live chat of the live stream. Says his car got caught out by a glitching wall. Definitely would have been interesting to see. We caught the back half of that crash. It was massive. Sandro done for the day. And now we've got ourselves a virtual safety car. Lap 17 of 22. And with the virtual safety car, this very well may, depending on how long the safety car comes out, or how long it lasts, this is really going to the grid where it's at for the next lap or two. Alicia Cannell expressing her displeasure with Higgins, saying he is a dangerous driver. I cannot attest to Higgins being a dangerous driver, but I can attest to Higgins having internet issues, which makes his car glitchy, and that in itself can be dangerous. We continue to watch Collingwood here. So it looks like we're back to green. DRS is enabled. We'll pick up the leader here. This is Aaron Collingwood, KLC. He is another commentator. He does not co-commentate with me, but he does commentate for the IRL League on his own YouTube page. You can also go there to check out every race this season. He does commentating. His YouTube page is Waffle, kind of like cauliflower, but with a waffle. Second is going to be Francis McGinn in the McLaren Honda. He's 4.6 seconds behind Collingwood. Behind him, you have Bart Cadelda. He's had quite an adventurous race. He was battling for the lead. He was in the lead for a while. He was battling for the lead with Collingwood. He went off at Eau Rouge. And it looks like Brandon the Man Glover has now left the session. This is going to be due to an internet issue. His car has gone AI. He is currently 11th. We'll pick back up at Cataldo. Saba would be the next driver. He's put on a lot of good moves today to make up some positions. Matthew Alder looks like he was closing the gap. Looks like he's off the pace. Something happened to him at some point. He's going to be running 5th. Betterichetti, big lock up there. He's going in running the super softs there. Big lock up going to the corner. Kraken, he is not that far off of Betterichetti. Then you have Reese Bibby. He's coming out of the corner and down. And we've got Rene van der Stappen at 9th. Cameron Weston Edwards. Brandon Glover 11th. SRL Sam Brandt, one of the co-founders for SRL. Looks like he's going to head into the pits. He's had an adventurous year. He started the year with Haas F1. He retired back in, I believe, January. But it was kind of a partial retirement. Haas picked up a couple of different teammates. He came back to fill in. He did a Jensen Button where he came back to fill in for one race. Maybe he said he would become a full-time reserve. But he's in it today. Since he's a founding member of SRL, why not? We've got Julian DeRigue. He's actually the replacement for Killian Brady in SRL, McLaren Honda, even though he's rocking the Sahara Force India today. James Hallworth, IRL driver, 13th. And Brandt is now 14th. He's in and out of the pits. You have Colin Higgins in 15th. Lewis Marshall, who lost his internet connection. Sandro Dulius, who had that massive crash. Luke Smith had a crash. Dion Stahl, done for the day. And there you see Lewis Bish's car is still beached. So your closest battle on track right now, it would be Cameron Weston Edwards versus Rene van der Stappen. We were just switching there. Van der Stappen looks like he's had it off. Edwards gets by. And he's going to be able to pull away. Closest battle on track is going to be Bart Cadelda, who's 1.4 seconds behind his teammate, Francis McGinn. Definitely got some chat going on here on the live chat. It's good to see that. Luke Smith and Sandre Sauerhall going back and forth a little bit. And yes, Praga's game was glitched, SRL chiming in, and I can definitely attest to that again. Lewis Marshall has had internet issues all year. In fact, his first race with SRL was back in Bahrain, and his internet was so bad, he glitched on the very opening lap. We've got another virtual safety car. But Marshall's car glitched so bad in his opening debut that he completely destroyed Killian Brady's race as they headed to turn 3. It was what it was at the time. So we're under a virtual safety car for unknown reason. The lobbies have been known to glitch. We've run into it a couple times at IRL where the lobbies actually glitch, bring out the actual safety car for 4 or 5 laps. Safety car, I believe, is turned off today for this race, so maybe it's bringing out the virtual safety car every couple laps. So again, they're going to have to hold and maintain their position and time gaps. Brandon Glover displaying his displeasure with some of the drivers. So this has definitely been an interesting race. in the inaugural SRL versus IRL Interleague Grand Prix here on the F1 2017 for the PS4 platform. Virtual safety car looks like it is gone back away. Back under green now. Still have that caution in Sector 2. That's Lewis Bish's car. That's at the bottom of this corner here. They head down the hill. You're going to see Lewis Bish's car right there. So caution in Sector 2 is forever out. The car is beached. To watch Catalda, who has lost his gap. So it looks like at this point, unless something major happens in the last few laps, Aaron Collingwood, who is a commentator for IRL, again, that's going to be Colawafel on YouTube if you want to go check it out. He is your leader. He's got a 3-second lead over Francis McGinn. Francis McGinn is probably one of the most improved drivers I've seen over the course of the year. He started out slow, but he's definitely managed to find some pace. Looks like he got himself a new steering wheel. So he's definitely been a force to be reckoned with in the past few races. He's closing the gap to Collingwood. It's down to 2.8. But I don't think he's going to have enough time to actually catch him unless Collingwood really gets offline at some point. Bart Catalda, he's your SRL championship points leader. Looks like he's going to be coming home third today. Behind it, we've got a caution in Sector 1. And it looks like that was Collingwood. Gave him the old commentator's curse. So it looks like he has he's had an issue on the Kemmel Straights. And that gives up the lead to Francis McGinn and Bart Catalda as a 1-2 SRL. With on lap 21 of 22, so unbelievable turn of events. I was trying to give you guys a grid rundown, but I'm sorry I missed that. That was definitely a big turn of events there. So Francis McGinn, if he can hang on to that.
Can I say something?
And we've got Cameron Weston Edwards joining in.
I just want to say on the live broadcast that Rene's driving is absolutely ridiculous, and he's just taken, as you know, he's taken out Aaron for the victory. He's taken out 4 IRL drivers in total, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And he's basically just won it for SRL, and they've won it by cheating.
Now, what driver is this that you're referring to?
Gamer Freak, Rene van der Stapp.
Rene van der Stapp, who is currently...
He took out KLC, he took out Aaron, he spanned me, he's tried to take out everyone he can.
Oh, that is a shame. He has got no front wing as he heads into the pits. So that was Cameron Weston Edwards. He is currently running 9th. He is gone. Ghost looks like he's back under control of his car. So if that's the case... I'm sure Cameron Weston Edwards and Sandro Dulius and Sam Brandt will definitely have some discussion about this after the race. Some very acute accusations in regards to Rene van der Stapp. There's been a lot of talk about the SRL drivers. So, lots of talk behind the scenes. This is an unofficial points event. This is the inaugural one, so it's definitely been entertaining. We shall see if this happens again, maybe next season. A lot of accusations against the SRL drivers. You heard Cameron Weston Edwards take there. And you've got to know Edwards was very displeased if he's willing to stop his actual race in the middle of it to express his displeasure on the live stream. So, I know Sandro is watching. I know I did not catch everything today. I will say this, though, in regards to the SRL drivers. Francis McGinn doesn't seem to put in, I would say, what is a very clean race. So, except for that glitch there, I don't know what that was. But Francis, who put in a very clean race, I don't think he raced too aggressively with anybody. I don't think he tried to put anybody off the road. Catalda finishes second. Saba does come home third. Matthew Alder fourth. Collingwood will be fifth. Ben Ricchetti comes home sixth. Kraken seventh. Reese Bibby is eighth. Cameron Weston Edwards ninth. And it looks like Hallworth and Julian DeRique are actually battling to the flag here. Oh no, and around goes the Air Force India. And it looks like Hallworth is going to take that position and hang on to it. Oh, but he goes wide. He's off into the grass. Colin Higgins has retired from the session. We've got a caution in Sector 3. And we've got cautions all over. Sector 1, 2, and 3. This is the end of the race. You see there Hallworth did gave the chrome horn to Julian DeRique, which for all intents and purposes is a little bit of IRL comeback for the accusations. Looks like SRL and IRL. There's going to be a lot of driver discussion after this race, which in and of itself will be entertaining. I hate to say that. So Hallworth does come home 10th. So what an interesting race. This was, I will say for me, this was a lot of fun. I love the passion from everybody that's tuning in, because we've got some IRL drivers watching, we've got some SRL drivers watching, we've got SRL itself watching. So a lot of comments, a lot of back and forth today. Francis McGinn is your winner of the inaugural SRL versus IRL Interleague Grand Prix on the F1 2017, the PS4 platform. You see that with Sama in third, Matthew Alder fourth, Collingwood, who led the race, fifth, Ben Ricchetti sixth, Kraken seventh, Reese Bibby eighth, Cameron Weston Edwards ninth, Hallworth 10th, Julian DeRique is 11th, Sam Brandt was 12th. Obviously, Felipe Massa is not there. Renee Vanderstappen, a lot of accusations against him. Definitely be some discussion after the race. You've got Colin Higgins, 15th, and then the 16th, 17th, and 18th, that was Andrew Julius. He had a massive crash. Lewis Bish went off and beached his car. Dion Stahl retired early. So a very interesting and exciting race. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun for me. I'm sorry that some of the spectators and some of the drivers feel that it was a very dirty race, and perhaps there will be some discussion as to whether or not any penalties transfer over to their actual leagues themselves. And the conversation continues behind the scenes, especially in regards to Renee Vanderstappen. So this was a lot of fun for me. A couple of announcements before we head out. Again, this was IRL versus SRL. You can check out the SRL YouTube page to catch up on prior seasons, prior videos. You can check that out. KLC, that was Aaron Collingwood, actually joined today for the race. He is a commentator for IRL. You can check out his YouTube page. It's Kala Waffle, kind of like cauliflower, but Kala Waffle. You can check him out to get caught up on other IRL races. I'm KAMIKAZE-FOX. You can check out my page for IRL races. I've managed to do most of them this year. Also, you can check out my page for any other stupid videos. Grand Theft Auto, I've got some funny mashups in there. I also do the IRL Gran Turismo GT3 League, which kicked off a couple weeks ago. You can check out those videos. And again, coming soon, hopefully, actually later today, you should be able to check out this live stream